Hello, I hope you're having a great day today. And if not, maybe today's message will help brighten you up a little bit, or something in the scripture will just grab a hold of you and just change your entire life even better. So today we're going to go ahead and continue with the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 1. The Pharisees and Sadducees came to Jesus and tested him by asking him to show them a sign from heaven. He replied, "When evening comes, you say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, today it will be stormy, for the sky is red and overcast. You know how to interpret the appearance of the sky, but you cannot interpret the signs of the times. A wicked and adulterous generation looks for a miraculous sign, but none will be given it except the signs of Jonah." Jesus then left them and went away. Now, if we remember the story of Jonah, that's when he was trapped inside the whale for 3 days. So that was a story that I would assume spread across the land pretty well, and all the Pharisees and Sadducees had probably heard of the story of Jonah. When they went across the lake, the disciples forgot to take bread. "Be careful," Jesus said to them. "Be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees." They discussed this among themselves and said, "It is because we didn't bring any bread?" Aware of their discussion, Jesus asked, "You have little faith. Why are you talking among yourselves about having no bread? Do you still not understand? Don't you remember the 5 loaves for the 5,000? And how many basketfuls you gathered? Or the 7 loaves for the 4,000? And how many basketfuls you gathered? How is it you don't understand that I was not talking to you about bread? But be on your guard against the yeast of the Pharisees and Sadducees." And my understanding of what he's telling them is just a little bit of their encouragement or a little bit of their words to get us to go back into our old ways and forget about the ways that Jesus Christ is trying to teach them the new ways. So beware of the Pharisees and Sadducees, what they're saying, and don't be drawn into what they're saying. Then they understood that he was not telling them to guard against the yeast used in bread, but against the teaching of the Pharisees and Sadducees. When Jesus came to the region of Caesarea Philippi, he asked his disciples, "Who do people say the Son of Man is?" They replied, some say John the Baptist, others say Elijah, and still others Jeremiah or one of the prophets. "But what about you?" he asked. "Who do you say I am?" Simon Peter answered, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." Jesus replied, "Blessed are you, Simon, son of Jonah, for this was not revealed to you by man, but by my Father in heaven. And I tell you that you are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church, and the gates of Hades will not overcome it. I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatever you loose on earth will be loosed in heaven." Then he warned his disciples to not to tell anyone that he was the Christ. So just now Jesus is revealing to those who have been closest to him exactly who he was, though a lot of them had suspected or thought that that's who he was, and that's why they brought it about to him, was to find out for sure. So now Jesus is revealing exactly who he is, and he'll continue to reveal more, and then right after that, why he even came in the first place, because they have no idea what's to come. From that time on, Jesus began to explain to his disciples that he must go to Jerusalem and suffer many things at the hands of the elders, chief priests, and teachers of the law, and then he must be killed and on the third day be raised to life. Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. Never, Lord, he said. This shall never happen to you. Jesus turned and said to Peter, Get behind me, Satan. You are a stumbling block to me. You do not have in mind the things of God, but the things of men. So that was Peter's human nature coming out to defend Jesus, even though Jesus didn't need to be defended by anyone. So Jesus had to rebuke the spirit that was coming from Peter at the time, because it wasn't from his spiritual nature but his human nature, and those thoughts and feelings came from Satan. Then Jesus said to his disciples, If anyone would come after me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. For whoever wants to save his life will lose it, but whoever loses his life for me will find it. What good will it be for a man if he gains the whole world, yet forfeits his soul? Or what can a man give in exchange for his soul? Okay, and when we refer to our soul, we're talking about our mind, and what at what cost are we willing to sacrifice our mind? And that kind of has a lot to do with where material things come into our life, because like we won't have a peace of mind if we don't accumulate whatever it is in life that we want through Christ. And to take the easy way is to do what Satan tells us to do to accomplish those things. For a Son of Man is going to come in his Father's glory with his angels, and then he will reward each person according to what he has done. I tell you the truth, some who are standing here will not taste death before they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. So we're going to go ahead and end today's message right now. That's the end of chapter 16. And hopefully something in today's message will brighten your day, or just get you to think of something that is more positive in life, and something we can share with others, and to lift others up, plant seeds of encouragement with people, and continue to be obedient to what Christ is teaching us. And we're getting closer and closer to understanding why he came in the first place. So you have a great, blessed day, my friend. Peace and love, and we'll talk to you soon.